Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I'm actually Yin from Yin Sourdough Bakery. Yeah. So today we are more looking into sourdough bread. What is sourdough bread? So I just wake up and bake some sourdough bread at midnight, and this is what I have brought this morning. Yeah, this is what we baked this morning. So this is sourdough bread. It can be in this shape, it can be in batard shape, it can be making into sourdough bagel, pancake, and if your kids like waffle, make it into sourdough waffle. Yep. So you might want to actually know that what is the common questions that we have here. What is sourdough bread? No, this is not exactly the accurate questions that we have in this region, in Penang, in the northern region. I'm from Ipoh, but I speak not so good Hokkien. But I can understand what they are asking about. Every day they're having the same question asking me. Hey, So in English, if we are talking to some of the friends, in English it means, hey, how come the bread that you bake is spoiled? So what happened is, when we first opened in Bali Pulau, a very old uncle cycled in, my first few customers. So he bought a bread with only 230, and after that, he brought back home happily with a 230 sourdough country white bread. And after that, I saw him second day. So I'm so happy because my customer coming back, a return customer. No, he told me, and look at me. Yesterday I bought the bread and it's spoiled. So fast? So this is the question that usually I get every day when we first started. So breads that come from Yin Sourdough Bakery are all chao sui roti. Yeah. So I'm the baker of chao sui roti. So what happened is in English, so we will say that this is through the natural fermentation of the good bacteria lactobacilli, combined with the wild yeast, and it goes through natural fermentation and release carbon dioxide. That's why the bread actually rising. So through this natural fermentation, what actually are breaking down is wheat, gluten, carbohydrate, starch are broken down. And it is easier for our digestion. And the best thing is, my mom is a diabetic. And it actually maintained the sugar level very well, if you can see in some of the research in the journals, like Cambridge journals. This one is one of the time-lapse video that we have taken many, many years back when we first started making sourdough bread, because we want to see how this guy works. So in this time-lapse video, we are using the same concept like what we saw in the Discovery Channel, National Geographic. And if you're familiar with that, usually they will take the video of the changes of this North Pole. They want to see how's the change of the ice cap. So they're taking for every second for a year, and they will show you how's the changes in just 10 seconds or so. So we use the same concept using our little smartphone, using the time-lapse video. So we take every 5 seconds for 12 hours for this time-lapse video. And you can see this is 12 hours. So I set the time at 10 a.m. nighttime, Wednesday, for example, and Thursday in the morning, 10 o'clock a.m., it rises. Oh, what's that? It's something that alive. This is called sourdough starter, or we call it sourdough culture. having this sourdough starter is something that is like my 4th kids. I have 3 kids sitting there. So this is like my 4th kids. I need to make sure that I do the feeding, mixing every day so that it's actually continue to live. So we were saying that, is sourdough bread something new? No. Sourdough bread is the Adam and Eve of all bread. The story goes like this. Long time ago, if you read the Quran or Bible, people used to eat unleavened bread. Bread that just like biscuit. Mix the flour and water and just bake it straight away. And the story goes on this way. A man is baking his unleavened bread. He was mixing the dough and somebody called him and he left the dough just aside. And for a while and for the next day, he came back. He see exactly what happened, like just now the time-lapse video. It actually rising up. So at that time, bread and food is very precious. He decided to bake it. And guess what? Eureka! This is the first bread that he baked that is so soft and delicious. Not like the normal unleavened bread that he baked before. So then you might be asking, if sourdough bread has such a long history, what happened then? And what happened now? I give you a very simple analogy. Chicken, in 50 years back, from a little chick to something that we can serve on the table, it takes 6 months. 6 months. And for now, from a little chick to something that you can serve, you just need 2 months. Same like for the bread. And you can see here, 100 years ago, when you want to make a loaf of bread, the fermentation takes about 2 days. For now, today, it takes just 3 hours. So what happened is, of course, with this technology's breakthrough, the time to get the food on your table have shortened tremendously. And in another word, it has also lowered the cost, and you can produce the food faster. During my grandpa's time, he's opening a kopitiam. He was a kopitiam owner. Yeah. So when we want to get chicken, it's only during Chinese New Year, Raya, Christmas, or even his birthday or my birthday. But today, when you wake up in the morning, oh, let's call Food Panda. Let's see. Okay, we can have nasi lemak with ayam goreng. Afternoon, let's go for Hainanese chicken rice. And nighttime, my kids will say, hey mom, let's go to KFC, our favorite. But of course, everyone knows everything comes with a price. Another type of price, health, perhaps. So we are talking about a lot of the sourdough bread and all this. Now, I actually would like to bring you back how it ended up in Penang today. It's all because of passion. I was studying biochemistry in University Malaya, and I worked in a pharmaceutical sales line for 10 years. After that, sometimes when I come back home, wow, I'm in a sales line, so you know the target is high. So my boss say, hey, how come the target is not reaching yet? So the stress level is high. Baking is one of the ways that I use to de-stress, and it's my hobby too. So when I came home, every night, 8 o'clock, I start baking. I start baking a loaf of bread. Yeah, she's nodding. She's doing that too, I think. So at 11 o'clock, nighttime, I can smell the aroma of a fresh bread. And this is the way I distress. And it goes on years. And I quit my pharmaceutical sales job following my husband to the United States. And there, I got close to sourdough bread. And this is the first time I know, wow, baking bread without using any commercial yeast? Is that true? But the thing is, the time is longer. They use a natural fermentation that use a longer time. So seeing something alive is just like having the fourth kids. So I have to take care of another kid. Soon I'm baking every day when I stay in States, feeding, mixing, and baking. They started follow me everywhere, even when we went to vacation, it still follow us. And there's one crazy time that when I'm in Penang, so my kids, we bring the kids to cinema. So the time for feeding is just before the show start. So we mix it in a car and put it there because we want to continue using for the next day. When we came back 7 years back, sourdough bread is something that's not so easy to find here in Penang or in this region. But perhaps there is one of that at that moment in Kuala Lumpur. If you're familiar with Sourdough Bakery, Tommy Lee Baker is one of them. So we'd like to bring you to these 2D metrics that showing the uniqueness and also the value. If let's say your product is in the X value, X zone, which means that your product is very unique. But it might be no value. Just like this piece of thorn paper, a thorn blank paper. This is very unique. This is very unique in this world, but with no value because nobody buying it. And if I'm asking here, any of you want this piece of thorn paper with 100 ringgit? Any one of you? No, nobody wants it. Yeah, that is unique. A product that is unique but without any value. And if we go into the Z zone is a product that is with high value but no uniqueness. Everybody can make it. Everybody like to buy it. But you will be going into competing with price. And if you are in the Y zone, which means that you are in a deep shit because you have no uniqueness and there's no value. So the best thing is go to A. Exam, you have A, and this is the A zone. Yeah. So in the A zone, very unique product with high value. So in this zone, everybody will be going to grab the product, just like I'm sure all of you here. Previously, maybe iPhone is something that you're looking for. Yeah, they will be in A zone. And at the reason, everyone will be queuing up for boba tea, Singfu Tang, sugar cane, all this. Yeah. So this is actually all in the A zone. So how is Yin Sourdough 7 years back? Perhaps we are at X at that moment. A product that is unique, but nobody wants it. Because they said, "Cao sui lo di." This is spoiled. So after 7 years, it's a long journey, and I think we have been nudging towards A, hopefully. A product that is unique, that is growing too. I will never forget the day where we first started baking commercially. We first started our sourdough bakery in Balik Pulau that is near our home. Because it's near our home and I can get up at 3 a.m. in the morning, rush into the bakery and start baking, start work. So we are lucky because we have some friends that introduce our product to their colleagues. Working hours 8 to 5 for them, so I have to deliver the bread at 4 p.m. Somehow or rather, on the first day when we bake commercially sourdough bread, everything that could go wrong, it goes wrong. And by the time the bread is ready, it's already 4:30. But my customer needs the bread at 4 o'clock. And by the time we dash out our car from Balik Pulau to Bayan Lepas to deliver the product, it's already 5:30. So, on the first day, I feel very sad. And the phone keeping ringing because the customer tried to support, but we can't actually fulfill what the time frame is. So one thing we learned, ship the product no matter how. Set out a goal to ship the product by hook or by crook, ship it. And then learn from it and see how actually to run it. Nobody will know how to run. So after 1 week of the operation, we think, I'm not an experienced baker. Why not? We get somebody who is experienced to come in and help us. So we talked to some experienced baker. So what happened is, we got in touch with some of the experienced baker by friends and they tell us, what are you doing? So we tell them we are doing all sourdough bakery, no commercial yeast added in all the bread. And they said, "No xiao ah." That means, this will not work. They tell us, this will not work. No one will understand what you want to do, especially when you want to start off with some uniqueness in your recipe. You take time to develop them, and you take time to develop the market. So getting people on board. Fast forward today, you can see almost a lot of sourdough breads available everywhere. And we have also improved the process. Every morning, 7 a.m., you can get the fresh sourdough bread just like this. Yeah, every morning. So what happened is, we started with 4 staff when we first started in Balik Pulau. It was just me, my father-in-law, another widow, a retired lady who is also 60 over years old. There was just 4 of us. All I want to do is just baking sourdough bread for the local community because I see that from my mom's result, it provides sustain. It won't spike up the blood sugar level for people with especially high sugar level. But 1 year later, we find that the location is not so strategic. In Balik Pulau, we try to move out from Balik Pulau to Georgetown. And I was thinking, just 4 of us, 3 ladies, 2 with 65 years old and above. Can we do that? Just 4 of us. At that moment, before the big move, we actually met with a Catholic priest from Balik Pulau who came back from Sabah for holiday. He is actually working in a village in Sabah that's called Kota Marudu. So he said, don't worry, I will go back during church service and ask whether any of the members are interested to come over to the bakery to work. So, we are lucky, we actually get a Sabah guy. He's from his Dusun. He came in and helped us as a baker. Strong man, yeah. So compared to us, the ladies, so we get the help from a strong man. So after 2 months, we need to get more helps because the production is a little bit increased. Another Sabah guy actually came. And with that, two of their sisters came too because we want to start a hot kitchen. Besides baking, we also start hot kitchen. So now we have about 20 hours of Sabahan that work with us. Half of our staff are from Sabah. We try our very best to nurture them, sending some of them to culinary school, sending some of them for barista competition. And also, we also are very lucky because there's one currently who is leading Uptown Sourdough Bakery. So bear in mind, none of them actually comes with any experience in baking. So in our very small bakery, we also meet a lot of amazing people. Yeah. So we have an amazing chef from Netherlands that we actually helping up in our menu and now currently as a partner. So we also have met a lot of amazing young people that are passionate about F&B. And from an award-winning barista, he's sitting there. Now he's become our head roaster. And we also see a bunch of young chefs and even business graduates who found passion in coffee. If anyone asks me, you work with passion and conviction, you will find that the law of attraction is very true. You will never have to worry about finding the right staff, the right people to join you along the way. But passion doesn't feed families. It's not only me. I have a bunch of employees now that I need to feed their families too. So what happened is we can't just live on passion alone because many people venture into business because of passion. But you love baking and you open a bakery. You love coffee, that's why you open a cafe. You started a cafe because you love coffee. But you spend 90% of your money and time, just 10% focus on the business. I have something to share with you. Your business is going to fail. What pains me is when I see some of the cafe buying 100,000 ringgit of a coffee machine. You are going to fail because how many cups of coffee that you have to sell? What you need to do is focus 90% of your time of growing the business so that it can sustain 10% of your passion. So when we started, Yin is me and I am Yin. But now, however, when we are growing, we need to learn how to let go, work with other talent. Yin is our roaster, Yin is our service crew, Yin is our chef too. So entrepreneur, this is the last one that I would like to share with you. Are you sure? When I work in a pharmaceutical company, 30 days of leave, when I go on leave, take the bag, I say, okay, don't disturb me, I tell my customer. So when I go holiday, I'm really on holiday. But today, I work 7 days per week, 30 days per month, 365 days per year. So the last holiday that I have is during my sister's wedding. That when I was attending the wedding, I'm still actually thinking of work. So you are constantly worried if you can meet the end month paycheck, your rent, your supplier, and you're worried about whether it's actually giving a good service to the customers, the food is good, and you are scratching your head and see what improvement that you can do. And also any new recipes because your customer might be coming every day. So this is not about all the glamours and blinking lights in the media that shows. If you already have experience working in a company, imagine you are the CEO or any staff in the company, including toilet cleaner. Yes, I do toilet cleaning too. Sometimes if, let's say, any of your staff is not showing up, you are the one that stand on that position. Towards the rewards comes in a different way, different form, not in monetary. The satisfaction when you see the company grow from a small little bakery to what is it now, and the staff sending back money, to convert their home from a wooden home to a concrete one. And face of satisfied customer sending thank you notes to you, says that you're providing good sourdough bread for them in this local community. So am I done being an entrepreneur? No, definitely not. I can foresee the journey with my team will be long and arduous. Thank you very much, guys, and see you all in Yin's. Thank you.